Hey everybody, what's going on? Doing the show. Today is Wednesday, September 17th, 2014. I'm your host, Randall Parker Jr., and this is another episode of Proz Crypto Talk Hour on Voluntary Virtues Network. Today we have some things to cover. First of all, let's invite everybody to tweet along with us if you want on Twitter. We are looking for followers, friends, tweets, and whatever at CryptoVVN. So the at symbol, then CryptoVVN. So, yep, we're looking for your tweets. You can email us the same way, CryptoVVN@yahoo.com. Show topics, guest suggestions, critiques, criticism, questions, whatever you got. All right, cool. So that's good. Let's see. Getting organized here. Top of the show, we have our long-standing sponsor of the program, which is CoinProz. CoinProz is a news and kind of a social kind of gathering place type of website that focuses on cryptocurrencies of all different varieties. So they're not open yet for business, but they're going to be launching soon. So I just want to make everyone aware that if you go to coinproz.com right now, you can join the mailing list and be notified when they do launch. But for the time being, they haven't officially opened up shop yet, right? So that's that. The second thing is I've been doing a little blogging over at Live.com, which it's a pretty cool site. They have a few different bloggers over there. I'm one of them, and the content's pretty good. They have a nice price chart there as well, and they're constantly improving the site. So I'm going to highlight my own article. The link is in the description. I wrote a little piece about the recent news that PayPal has accepted Bitcoin. And my question is, does this legitimize the coin? Does this legitimize Bitcoin somehow, some way? My thing is, PayPal is the old guard, right? Whereas Bitcoin is the newcomer, the new technology in the field. So it's kind of backwards for PayPal to be justifying Bitcoin. If you believe what I believe, which is that in the future Bitcoin will be the primary means of, or something to the effect of Bitcoin, nonetheless. More so Bitcoin being the future rather than something like PayPal. So anyway, link is in the show notes and description if you guys want to read along with me. I wrote this piece the other day, and I'll start just reading the piece here. The title of the piece, the article is PayPal accepts Bitcoin. Does this legitimize the coin? The article topic begs the question that Bitcoin needs to be legitimized in some way. The case has certainly been made that the young, rebellious currency needs taming. The claims have gone to the effect of accusing Bitcoin to be a method for hackers, drug dealers, drug users, hitmen, and more to hawk their wares. That alone, I don't think, should be reason to criticize Bitcoin, especially since cash, fiat currency, is by and far the most ubiquitous illicit currency in the world. Specifically, the U.S. dollar is the biggest culprit, and then I link to on CoinDesk, if you're reading along in the article I wrote on BitcoinPriceLive.com. There's a link to the CoinDesk article there, where Congressman Jared Polis satirically tries to ban the U.S. dollar. Blah 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 blah. So that was as a gimmick because people were saying Bitcoin needs to be banned because it's a black market instrument, and he went on to point out this Congressman Jared Polis went on to point out that the U.S. dollar is way more of a threat for black market and underground illicit activity. So anyway, Going ever further, should be even further, rather. I would suggest the consideration that free individuals ought to be free to trade and negotiate freely, without third-party intrusions. Shall we consider just for a moment the notion that perhaps it is nobody's business what one person wishes to sell and what another person wishes to buy? I personally advocate for a live and let live policy, wherein so long as nobody is being harmed, there is no crime. We've gotten into an era where people are too concerned about the record and being official that we forgot the value of anonymity. So Bitcoin may lose a shred of its anonymous or rebellious nature in this new development, but it will likely gain something of far greater value, mainstream legitimacy. The word legitimate sounds like a really fishy one because of the fact that what is considered legitimate depends on the source or who you're asking. So suffice to say, we're asking the stockbrokers, investment bankers, investment advisors, lobbyists, CEOs, and all the rest of the legitimate financial world to recognize this as a significant moment for the legitimacy of Bitcoin. So, right. I'm trying to get the Bitcoin people to think about liberty and the liberty people to think about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So that's why I was pointing out that maybe we don't need to legitimize a currency. Maybe we just need to use a currency, and that alone will be the foundation for its legitimization, or legitimacy, rather. So breaking down how this happens, there's a few influential pieces here in this maneuver. The first one we'll mention is Braintree. Braintree was a company that was doing payment processing for years, and in 2003, Braintree was acquired by PayPal, and PayPal was owned by eBay, and Braintree was working on a service called Venmo Touch in 2013, which is supposed to be a one-touch payment service, and a week ago or so, on the 8th rather of September, PayPal announced their version of the Braintree software called PayPal One Touch. One Touch aims to allow for one-touch purchases in apps using PayPal. The undertext here is start thinking of the word Bitcoin wherever you would think of the word PayPal. So along with the One Touch announcement, PayPal has also officially announced that they will be facilitating Bitcoin payments for their massive network of merchants. Braintree will be taking on the task from within PayPal, and they will be doing so in conjunction with Coinbase. So it's a partnership between PayPal, Coinbase, and Braintree, which is owned by PayPal, to make this all happen here. Let me see. For those who are not familiar, Coinbase is one of the largest Bitcoin web wallet services, as well as being one of the most utilized means of buying and selling Bitcoin for local fiat currency. With over 36,000 merchants using Coinbase for Bitcoin payment processing, it's a natural fit that they would be part of the effort to onboard PayPal for Bitcoin integration. Don't get me wrong, the last thing I want to do is come off negative to the fact that PayPal is going to integrate Bitcoin. I'm very happy about it, but I do think it will just send greater demand underground into the lesser known web of altcoins and app coins. That's a whole other story, and then I linked to another article there that I wrote on that topic. This is a very great event for the future of Bitcoin because it'll aid in adoption. My concern is that while it may be enhancing adoption, might it not also be muddying the waters? If PayPal is white labeling Bitcoin, will that really legitimize Bitcoin? Perhaps it will, but it may also confuse some into thinking Bitcoin got bought out by PayPal. I'm just waiting for that one to happen on a major news network. Yeah, so I think the question is, I think a lot of the adoption of Bitcoin up to this point is folks who appreciate it being a countercultural currency. Bitcoin got a lot of initial attention and support and promotion from the Free Talk Live crew since early on, since 2009, 10, well, not maybe not 9, but 10, 11, 12, for some time. So, there's a voluntarist, there's a libertarian kind of streak within the currency in terms of the users, and I don't think the PayPal situation hurts Bitcoin at all, but I don't think it's a surefire. It's not within the brand identity of what I think Bitcoin has been up to this point. So the question is, will Bitcoin suffer from becoming more legitimized, or will Bitcoin benefit from having the legitimacy? That's kind of an interesting question I'm trying to figure out myself. Back to the article here. Some fine print. Merchants interested in accepting Bitcoin with PayPal also need to have a Coinbase wallet in order to accept payments. This is certainly an easy step to accomplish. I created my Coinbase account about a year ago, so I cannot attest to today's level of difficulty in getting an account, but my understanding is that it's quite straightforward. You may have to cough up more personal information than you'd like to, and if that applies to you, there are certainly many alternate ways to use Bitcoin that will not require anything to do with Coinbase or PayPal. Again, great topics for other posts. A comment from the Engadget comment thread on the article, which is linked within the Bitcoin Price Live article in the paragraph, really seems to sum it up nicely. This is fine and dandy for newbies that still rely on the security provided by companies such as PayPal, though I highly doubt many of the current Bitcoin crowd will do business with PayPal unless they offer financial incentive. PayPal knows no one is going to use a service that does less at a higher fee, so I'm sure they have some trick up their sleeve. I don't think I could have summed it up better than the commenter there. In a recent Washington Post article, it was suggested that this PayPal development could help Bitcoin get some respect. Surely the word going around is that this is a credibility issue rather than an access, marketing, or awareness issue. Just as a quick reminder or aside, this is all happening in the shadow of Apple's latest announcements around their new service, Apple Pay. Similar to One Touch, the idea is to make mobile payment processing seamless, quick, convenient, and secure. Coincidentally, these are all features or aspects to the Bitcoin protocol. I can see the writing on the wall. Who else can? Washington Post is also reporting that for Bitcoin acceptance to be enabled for a merchant, the merchant must also explicitly agree to accept the use of Bitcoin in some way. This will likely be in the form of an option tick in the back end of the PayPal somewhere. At the time of writing, we don't have much else in the way of specifics from PayPal. The dream scenario is that in the summer of 2015, it's commonplace to open up your Uber app, find a local car service, and book a ride using Bitcoin. Or perhaps instead of waiting for Amazon to get on board with Bitcoin, we can just use PayPal to check out at Amazon and then use Bitcoin for the last mile. Any which way you slice this, it spells better awareness, accessibility, and yes, credibility for Bitcoin moving forward. So that is the gist of my article there. It's getting a few shares on Facebook. I shared it a couple times, and it's got 6 there and 4 on Twitter. So it's getting some action. I have another blog post I'm going to be writing there on the fact that Russia is apparently trying to ban Bitcoin soon. They've kind of come out and announced that. I don't really have a lot to say or in my notes for that today for you guys, but that is something you can pretty much. Well, the deputy finance administrator person, chief guy over there in Russia, made a statement saying that they're going to be banning Bitcoin to. I think it's Bitcoin to banks or Bitcoin to local currency transfers or. He said you can use the Bitcoin, you just can't turn it into, quote, real money. So that's what's going on in Russia. We're going to have a piece coming out related to that on BitcoinPriceLive.com. The next thing I want to get into today, guys, is the price. Linked below, you guys can go over to Bitcoin Price Live, and there's a direct link to the price page in the show notes as well. You can see the chart. The prices slipped from the mid 600s in August to the mid 400s at this point in September, and it's pretty ugly. I mean, Bitcoin's had its slashes downward where the price kind of tumbles and then it kind of rallies pretty quick. So what we've seen for months and months now is kind of just a slide downward. There is a reward halving on the Bitcoin network, but not anytime soon. I want to say it's 2016 or something like that. So that will make the price probably come back up, but I have a sinking suspicion that it might be too late. I ask the audience, do you think this might possibly be the end for Bitcoin's kind of #1 supremacy as the top dog cryptocurrency? It's a hard thing to call, but I would say I don't think it's the end of Bitcoin's #1 supremacy yet. Bitcoin is about 37 times more valuable than the second place coin, which is Litecoin right now. I got the numbers here. Bitcoin is worth the entire market cap of Bitcoin, which is like every single Bitcoin in existence at this moment combined. Value is $6 billion US. That's what's all the Bitcoins are worth together. Litecoin is the #2 coin right now, with a market cap of 161 million. So 161 million versus 6 billion, there's a difference of about 37 times, multiplier, to where Bitcoin is 37 times greater in value than the second place competition, Litecoin. So I think what we're going to see is a diversification of coins at the top, with Bitcoin slowly starting to slip and more the altcoins slowly starting to rise in value. Altcoins, app coins. A lot of folks I've seen saying this out there in forums and online and whatnot, saying that it's not so much Bitcoin that was the real genius thing, it was the blockchain, and it was Satoshi Nakamoto being able to coordinate or assemble all the technologies together that made up the original Bitcoin white paper and protocol. And now that there's so many clones and adaptations of Bitcoin, I think we're going to see that why are we paying $600 or $500 for a unit of a cryptocurrency when the actual functionality that one currency can do is something that nearly any currency can do. So it's very hard to determine what the value of these things are going to be because of the fact that while you can't print more Bitcoin, you can certainly print more altcoins, and the altcoins aren't accepted everywhere that Bitcoin's accepted, but a lot of companies out there looking to bridge that gap, and I just have a feeling that Bitcoin will it may go back up in price dramatically, but I don't know about this slipping in price. I want to know what you guys think. You can tweet at us. Let me see if we're getting any tweets. We're at CryptoBBN on Twitter. Not at the moment, I don't think. There's a new podcast out. I gotta subscribe to this decentralized podcast. If you on Twitter, it's decentralize all at decentralize all or decentralizetheworld.net. They're only on episode 2 right now, so support them. I just followed them on Twitter, and I'm going to check out their podcast after the program. But no, I don't see any tweets at us today. That's okay. Back to our topics for today. Let's see what we got. Okay, Overstock.com. Let me bring up the link here. The CEO of Overstock.com, Patrick Byrne, is a long time. Did I finish the PayPal article? Yeah, I figured I did. Yes, I did. Okay. The founder of Overstock.com, Patrick Byrne, he is a long time Did I say the price? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if I said the price. I'm a little distracted. The price of Bitcoin today is around 450 bucks. I don't think I told you guys that. 448 right at the moment. Patrick Byrne is a long-time libertarian-minded Bitcoin advocate, outspoken Bitcoin. His company Overstock.com was one of the first big retailers to start accepting Bitcoin. This was back in the end of 2013, in I think November, December, something like that. And it was only in the United States at first, and it was a pretty big win for Bitcoin advocates at the time. At least I felt it was. I'm not finding that link. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, here it is. So he sees what he's doing right now. Patrick Byrne, the CEO, he's going to be donating 4% of the Bitcoin revenue that he earns through Overstock.com to something called Chamber of Digital Commerce, which is something you can check out more at digitalchamber.org. I don't have that in the notes, in the links below, but I'll try to remember to add that. I don't know if I got this link. No, I didn't freaking get it. That's alright. I might have it over here. Excuse me, guys. Sleepy. I'm quitting cigarettes again, so. But I'm going good. It's fine. I'm not even having a hard time with it. I guess with my diet and everything, it's not that hard to do cigarettes. To quit cigarettes when you quit sugar and you quit bread and everything else. All right, so it's a CoinFire article, coinfire.cf. It's on the top of Reddit, subreddit for Bitcoin. And I'll read you guys a little bit of the article here. But essentially, Overstock's going to be donating 4% of their Bitcoin revenue to foundations advocating cryptocurrency adoption. And the first one that he chose is one that I take exception to. I don't find it to be a good use of the charitable donations, but they're not my donations to give, so I'll just make my case here. He has chosen the Chamber of Digital Commerce, which if you go to their website, it looks like a government website almost, even though it may not be affiliated or funded by the government necessarily. I can't tell. But it is a representative of the digital commerce industry in Washington, D.C. The Chamber's goal is to promote the acceptance and use of digital assets. So it does say here that Overstock will be continuously evaluating similar foundations across the globe and choosing those among whom it will rotate its support. So that's cool. They just want to encourage cryptocurrency adoption. That's the main objective of this fund set up by Overstock.com. So I can't knock them. I do appreciate it. I don't think the first. I mean, it's basically a lobbyist group. It sounds like for Bitcoin. I just don't know that that's the best way to. I don't know that it's going to work to petition the man for more freedom. But they've been working on the BitLicense issue. And they opened July 23rd, 2014 in D.C. to challenge some of the anti-Bitcoin legislation going before Congress. So that should be in the show notes. We got a fun one here next. This story is on Reddit, and this is a StarCraft tournament. The StarCraft Brood War clan announced their ICC Cup Star League, sporting a prize pool of over $700, then up to $1,000. It was the biggest foreign Brood War event since TF. I don't know what that is, TSL2, but so here is the prize pool. This is from 2011. It's funny. So first place is worth $500 if you win. Second place is worth $250. Third place is worth $150, and fourth place would be worth $100. And then as a consolation prize, places 5 through 8 would win a runner-up's prize of 25 Bitcoin. 25 Bitcoin right this moment is worth about 12 grand. It was worth as much as about $25, $27, $28,000 at some point if you knew exactly when to sell. But imagine coming in fourth place. That sucks. You know what I mean? Like first place, second place, third place, you can at least say, you know, I was the top 3. I was the second best StarCraft player, even though I didn't win the Bitcoin. You come in fourth place, man, for the $100. If you had just maybe sneezed or dropped your controller or something, or your computer crashed somewhere towards the end, if you'd come in 5th or 6th or 7th, you would have won 25 Bitcoin. But then again, it's 2011. This is when Bitcoin was worth $1 or $2. So most people probably that won those Bitcoin did right then and there was sell them or donate them or do something with them. It's funny, you know, no one really made, I mean, not say no one, but few people really made the fortune off of Bitcoin because people aren't greedy. When they make a little bit of money, they want to take that profit and spend it somewhere and guarantee it, lock it in. So that's in the notes, but that's pretty freaking crazy that it's right there on the internet. You can still see that, and it says Bitcoins. 5 through 8th place, 25 Bitcoins with a capital C. Bitcoins. I'm running out of show prep for you guys. We got about 15 minutes left on the program. I do encourage you guys to send me some tweets with ideas or recommendations, suggestions, whatever for the show. Scotland is close to getting their independence from United Kingdom, whatever the hell that means. I mean, I guess they're seceding, but they're still a state. I mean, I think secession is great. It's better than the alternative. It's better than more global government and bigger governments and world governments. But there is this notion on the internet right now that some people are talking about that are discussing the idea that in Scotland, if they do secede, they would need a new currency, or they would not need a new currency, but it would be unwise for them to use the European or the United Kingdom, the euro, to use the or the pound rather. It'd be unwise for them to do that because they would have no control of their monetary policy. If they created their own fiat currency, it would likely be quite weak. So there's some people talking about the idea that maybe just using Bitcoin, which would be pretty awesome, I think. So that's that. Everybody, check out our Facebook page. No, don't check out the Facebook page. Check out our Twitter account. I want you guys to follow me on Twitter. I think I have 3 followers right now, or something like that. At CryptoVVN. We also have the other program we do on Fridays, which is Roads to Liberty. I say we, I mean me. I do it, but it's on the same network. Voluntary Virtues. Thanks to everybody that does subscribe, that does comment and get involved, and I guess anybody that had a show they might want to do as well. You could tweet at me at CryptoVVN on Twitter, and I could put you in touch with the producers of the network. They are looking for some new hosts as well, or guests. So yeah, go ahead and tweet at us at CryptoVVN, and I'm going to let you guys ride. But I want to hear people's predictions. If you hear this before next week, you can tweet at me and say if you think the price is going to keep going up or keep going down, or if it's going to turn around and go back up. Alright guys, thanks for watching today. Sorry it's a little short one, but y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.